Okay, it's 6:30. We'll start the Municipal Building Authority. Approval of the minutes, 5.1 MBA minutes of January 16th, 2018.
I'll move approval of the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, we'll move into the council meeting. Opening ceremonies, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance with Riker Pulsifer leading us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Riker. We have a group of scouts with us. Would you like to stand up, starting with your leader, introduce yourself, and tell us what badge you're working on?
My name is Lloyd Gilly, and I am the Scoutmaster for Troop 393 in Murray.
I'm Barrett Schaefer, and we're doing the citizenship in the nation.
Speak up, boys, can't hear you.
I'm Jordan Barlow, and I'm also working on the citizenship in the community.
I'm Riker Pulsifer, and I'm also working on the citizenship badge. Yeah.
I am Casey Cheshire. I'm working on the same badge as everyone else in this troop will be.
I'm Logan Cheshire. I'm working on the badge of citizenship in the nation.
I'm Dylan Fulton, and I'm working on the citizenship badge.
Well, thank you for coming. We all appreciate it. Let's have them a round of applause. (6.2) Approval of the minutes. 6.21 Legislative Breakfast, January 11th, 2018. 6.2.2 Council Meeting, January 16th, 2018. I'm open for a motion.
I make a motion we approve the January 11th and January 16th meetings minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. 6.3 Special Recognition. Swearing in new Murray City firefighters Christian, I'm going to kill this, Owensby and Griffin Conroy, Jennifer Kennedy, and Chief Rodriguez.
Very good. That's right. Gentlemen, why don't you come up here? This is always a fun part of the fire service or police service, I guess, really anybody when we bring new employees into our fold. We've got two young men who they came out on top, and we're glad to have them. A few things is Griffin Conroy, he came to us. He worked part paid over at UFA. We won't hold that against him. I know you have one of those guys out here somewhere. Okay, there you are. We also have Christian Owensby, who comes from a firefighter family. His dad, Mark Owensby, works for, he's the battalion chief for West Valley City. And we're glad to have him. You know, a couple things that these guys got to know, and we've talked about this before. You come in as young guys, and you are young guys. You still have your hair. I had my hair when I first started too, just so you know. I was also about 40 pounds lighter. I don't want you to get nervous. But I think one thing it's important for you guys to know that you never stop learning. You never stop learning. You never know it all. And there's so many things anymore to learn in the fire service, and whatever route you take, whatever direction you go, I want you guys, it's very important that you follow that, and that you make sure that you never ever for a minute think that you know it all. But it's good to have you guys. We're glad to have you here, and we'd like to congratulate you.
I, Christian Owensby, do solemnly swear to support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah, and perform the duties of my office as a Murray City firefighter with fidelity.
Why don't you guys step up here, and we'll have somebody pin the badge on. Okay, whoever's gonna pin the badges. Okay, before you two sit down, I'd like you to introduce your family, if you would.
This is my girlfriend, Angela Wolby, and my father, Jennifer.
Christian?
Alright, Steve over here is my mother, Jennifer Owensby, my father, and my uncle, Mark, and Tyler.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Welcome to Murray City. We're in good hands with our police and fire. Anybody want to make any comments?
Welcome to the Murray family, because that's really what we are. And so we're excited to have you. So glad you're here.
Okay, we're going to move on to public. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to move on to citizens' comments. If you have any comments, please come to the mic. You have 3 minutes. And please get a form from Jan and fill that out and give it to her. So if anybody has any comments, please move forward.
My name is Carlisle Clark, and I reside at 6074 South on Fontainebleau Drive, just halfway between Highland Drive and 13th East. And I understand from neighbors, mostly, that Murray City is planning to widen the street between Highland Drive and 13th East to include a passing lane like we have on 13th East. And I have heard a few people say that, and like I'm all for the city finishing sidewalks and gutters all the way up to Highland Drive. But what from one of my neighbors says, they're going to take beyond his gate to his home and take out many trees. And I just like to have some comments from the council, because it seems like I don't think we really need a passing lane all the way down the street unless the city thinks that because of the property that is for sale, and I noticed that sign that was for sale on about 2.5 acres has been removed. I know that the cost on that was, I think, $1,600,000, something like that. But I'd just like to have comments from the city as to if that's really going to happen, because personally I think it will just increase the traffic, and I don't think we really need it, because there's a Village 3 there which already has kind of a passing lane and an approaching lane. So that's my only comments. I'd like to hear whoever can tell me.
Doug?
Yes, I can I can address that. So it is true, the city is planning to widen Vine Street between 13th East and Highland Drive. The city received well, let me back up. This has been a project that has been in the works even longer than it was part of Murray City. When it was in Salt Lake County, prior to 2003, 2004, when this area was annexed into the city, the county started the process to widen this road, and you can see that as you drive up and down Vine Street. You can see where some areas have already been widened and others haven't. So this process was started, again, long before it was even part of the city. So when this area came into the city, we recently applied for a federal grant to help fund the widening of this project. It's about a $5 million project, so it is very expensive. And the city is required to come up with about 7% of those total costs, which is really a great deal when you consider that this road can be improved with very little city funds. The plan is not to install a passing lane, but rather to install a center turning lane, because right now Vine Street is just a 2-lane road, and it does carry a lot of traffic. And so right now when somebody stops to turn left, either into one of the homes or into one of the streets, it backs up the traffic that's behind it, because there's not a place for anybody to go around it. And so part of the improvement is to install a center turn lane, but that's not a passing lane, just a turning lane. And then it will continue to remain as a 2-lane road, but the other improvements include bicycle lanes, on-street parking for cars, and curb and gutter and sidewalk. And so that's the purpose for the widening. It will require, in some places, the city to have to purchase property from some of the adjoining residences, and it may require some removal of vegetation and trees and things like that. So we did hold a public meeting with that neighborhood up there last fall. We took comments from neighbors. We do recognize that there are people that have concerns, and we're currently working with the road designer to try to mitigate or minimize those takings and removals of trees and things like that. And so that's where we are right now. Currently, the project is being designed by the city, and the plan will be is that probably next year it will be constructed, and that's what it will look like.
Thank you, Doug.
Hello, Council. My name is Alexander Teamsma, and I live at 10 West Miller Street. It's between Box Elder and Main. No, I'm sorry, Box Elder and State. And I'm relatively new to the city. My wife and I, we moved in at the end of December. We're very excited to be citizens of the city. And I want to start by thanking you all for your service. I know that y'all are doing what's in the best interest of us, the citizens, so thank you. I didn't have intentions of speaking tonight, but then when I was reviewing the minutes for the January 2nd meeting, which I think are the most recent minutes that are available, I noticed that Phil Markham had made a comment saying that the Parks and Recreation Master Plan is in need of revision. And so I figured that now would be as good a time as any to ask a question, make a suggestion. Does Murray City have a public dog park? No, that's what I'm getting. Okay. Simple suggestion would be perhaps to consider including one, and that might be a part of the master plan revision. Also going forward, I look forward to volunteering in the city, and maybe this would be an opportunity to include myself. So thank you very much, and if anybody wants to speak to that point, great. If not, thank you again.
Thank you.
My name is, good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Beverly Krangle, and I do live on Vine Street. And the construction for the widening of Vine was to begin in 2019 from 900 East to 1300 East, and in 2021 from 1300 East to Highland Drive, according to the plan. I'm assuming that's still the same parameters. First of all, the fact that the project is supposed to change the traffic on that street, it does not qualify. That's one of the items that would not allow it to qualify for an exemption from an environmental impact study, as well as there are other elements in the categorical exclusions. Money is another one. Breaking it into small projects, it seems like there was in an effort to maybe skirt the project in terms of the volume of the money that would be spent. But in the categorical exclusion and in the environmental impact law itself, it states the cumulative effect has to be considered, and you can't just break it into pieces and do it in one small piece at a time. Every single website I've been on over the last couple of months, the Federal Highway Administration, all the bicycle safety, pedestrian safety, our own Murray City 2017 plan. This plan is totally in 180 degrees opposite of the 2017 Murray City General Plan. The exponential accident increase is stated in all kinds of incidences. In Cities by Design, it's the World Resource Institute, the American Society for Landscape Designers discusses and quotes from that how exponentially accidents are increased the wider you have the street. And in the January 2018 issue of Pedestrian and Bicycle Safety, it talks about 20 proven safety countermeasures that we as a nation have to take to make our roads safer. There's a program out for encouraging children to bike and walk to school. Well, when you widen the street, traffic increases, making it much more dangerous. We have schools very close to this project. We have Oakwood up on Highland, and kids south of me walk up Vine to get to Oakwood, down on Woodstock. And then the overall plan, according to Stanley Consultants, was to have it carry all the way down to 59 and then on beyond. Because the idea, he said, was we want a middle turn lane all the way down. And that is another school down there too, McMillan. So when you have several schools and kids walking to school, every time you widen the streets, you're going to increase accidents exponentially. And those quoting from several articles, including the Federal Highway.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I'll close citizen comments. We'll move to the consent agenda. 8.1, consider confirmation of mayor's appointment of Mo Myers to the Murray City Center District Design Review Committee in an at-large position for a 3-year term to expire on January 1st, 2021. 8.2, consider confirmation of the mayor's appointment of Mindy Cordova to the Murray Park and Recreation Board in an at-large position for a 3-year term to expire January 1st, 2021. 8.3, consider confirmation of mayor's appointment of Ted Biestas to the Murray Park and Recreation Board for an at-large position for a 3-year term to expire January 1st, 2021. Unless there's objection, I'd like to get a motion on all three at once.
All right, I'll move to adopt the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Jennifer?
Aye.
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 Aye. Public hearing,
Mr. Chairman, could I I make a comment?
You bet.
First
For
of
the
all, I appreciate the willingness of these individuals to serve, and that would be Mindy Canova, and I believe Mindy's here. So, Mindy, would you mind standing and let the council know who you just consented to serve? So, thank you. I didn't see Mo or Ted, but thank you for being here tonight. Mindy, these are individuals, as I like to always point out, that are giving up their own time to volunteer to make the city better, and just want to express appreciation. So, thank you.
Mindy, thank you so much for your willingness to serve. We really appreciate it. And thank you for being here.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move to the public hearings. 9.1, public hearing number 1. 9.1.1, staff and sponsor presentation of the public comment prior to council action on the following matter. Consider a resolution appointing Laverne Snow to the South Salt Lake Valley Mosquito Abatement District Board. GL.
Thank you, Chairman Cox. This agenda item is in order to fill a vacancy on the Board of Trustees of the South Salt Lake Valley Mosquito Abatement District. The South Salt Lake Valley Mosquito Abatement District is an independent local government district governed by Utah law. District activities are supervised by a Board of Trustees. The board is made up of representatives from each of the cities within the district and a representative from the county. Murray has one seat on the board. Until recently, that seat had been filled by Laverne Snow. Trustees serve a 4-year term, and Ms. Snow's term ended at the end of 2017. She has applied for reappointment. Her application was the only application that was received. Utah law provides that at the end of each board member's term, the position is considered vacant, and after following the appointment procedures established in this section, the appointing authority may either reappoint the incumbent board member or appoint a new member. The appointing authority is a legislative body. The procedures for appointment include preparing a notice of vacancy, which was prepared and has been posted in 4 public places, published in a daily newspaper, and published on a legal notice website as required by law. The council must now choose a qualified applicant. Applicants are qualified if they're registered voters at the location of their residence and a resident within the boundaries of the local district. The council must comply with the Open Public Meetings Act, which it has and is, and allow any interested persons to be heard, and then adopt a resolution appointing a person to the local district board.
Are there any interested persons?
In addition to me.
Would you like to speak?
I would love to. Thank you. How do I know when my 3 minutes are up? Well, it's really an honor to be able to be here in front of you today. And I agree with your comment that it feels like home. You know, it feels like Murray is a big family. And we did choose to live in Murray intentionally. Moved here from Sugar House, which is a hard place to move from. But we've had a wonderful experience in the time we've lived in Murray. And it's just zoomed by. I think it's been 20 years. And it seems like just yesterday. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to represent you, the council, and citizens of Murray City. As you probably are aware, mosquito abatement is a fairly serious business. I have a long background in public health, and I enjoy participating with the Mosquito Abatement District because its primary purpose is to serve the public's health. We've had a lot of scare in the media about Zika virus. Zika isn't as big a concern to us here in Murray or in Salt Lake County because we don't have the kind of mosquito yet that carries the Zika virus, but West Nile virus continues to be an issue that we need to really watch seriously. We need to protect ourselves by not being out in short sleeves and shorts between dusk and dawn, and when out any time of day, need to make sure we're protected with mosquito repellent, because West Nile virus can be a very serious problem. We have a very good mosquito abatement district. The staff is small. They do really good work. We represent 20 jurisdictions. I think we're one of the largest special districts. And we always speak to represent our own city, but we try to vote. We don't vote by consensus. We vote parliamentary procedures, but we try to have a consensus opinion of the board. And now it's a board that has active and vital discussion. I really like that, so that the issues are considered seriously. I have to tell you, a few years ago, we took out a bond, we built a new building. The one we had wasn't safe for the chemicals that we stored and didn't have adequate facilities for the female employees to shower if there was an accident. And we took out a 20-year loan, paid it off in 5 years, and lowered the taxes back to where they were, lower than they were before we raised them to build the new building. I'm very thrilled to be part of that board and to represent the city. If at any time you would like me to come speak to you as a council individually about mosquito abatement, about the things we do, about the protections we offer, about the fish we're willing to deliver for free for your ponds, I would be so happy to do that, or give you a written report at any time. And again, thank you for letting me speak to you tonight, and thank you for considering my application. Do you have any questions? Is that appropriate?
Thank you, Ms. Snow. I'm going to open it up for public comment. Seeing none, I'll close public comment. 9.12, consideration of the council on the above matter.
I would make a motion to adopt the resolution appointing Laverne Snow to the South Salt Lake Valley Mosquito Abatement District Board.
I'll second that.
Jennifer?
Aye.
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 Aye. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for serving. Unfinished business, we have none. New business, we have none. Mayor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of things very briefly. First of all, I just want to comment about how fortunate we are to have Laverne Snow and serving in representing us on the mosquito abatement district. I really appreciate that, and I just wanted to comment. As you can see, how much expertise. I mean, how many people can get that excited about mosquito abatement? I mean, really. I mean, this is great. So, thank you, Laverne. I know you're all aware of the unfortunate accident that happened last evening. Young man who fell through the roof at the vacant building down on near 3rd West and 43rd South. And I just wanted to, it was a very difficult situation. It was a fatal accident. But I just wanted to mention that our both police and fire departments responded quickly and appropriately, did a great job with a very tough situation. And Kenny Bass, as always, did a really good job with the media. So I just wanted to mention that and express appreciation, Chiefs, for the job that our public safety people did there. Finally, in case you didn't know, the legislative session is well underway. 15 down and 30 to go. I just wanted to make sure that the council is happy with the job that we're doing in keeping you informed and up to date on what's going on, and certainly if there's anything else we can do to involve, to make sure that you're up to date. We appreciate the interaction that we have with all of you, and especially with the representation on the LPC. So thank you for that. If there's anything that we can do as administration, please let us know. And you're already made aware of the of the events this week, meeting with the legislators. So I won't. But well, I will mention this for the public. The Chamber of Commerce is hosting breakfast on Saturday morning from 9 o'clock to 10:30 at the Doty Education Center, where our legislators will be there from Murray, representatives and senators. So it's an opportunity to come out and to hear what they have to say and ask them questions. So you're all invited at 9 o'clock Saturday morning. So, and that's my report.
Thank you, Mayor. Any questions for the mayor?
It's the Doty Education Center over at IMC.
Building 6 at IMC.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thanks, Riker, for doing the Pledge of Allegiance, and the meeting is adjourned.